Huh.
Hi guys, thanks for popping in. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, it's been a while, I know, but I've got a few errands to run and I'm scrubbing in some new tyres, so I thought I'd drag you twats along just for something to do and tell you all about my experience with my Super Adventure S, my SAS, and my experience of owning it for 2 years, what it's been like, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, what it's cost me, would I buy another? Well, spoiler alert, definitely. I'd like to keep this one, but I quite fancy a Super Duke GT as well, but they're a bit pricey. But apparently, so I've heard and seen on the Tinternet, that there may be a new model coming out for 2023, so that's not far away now. It's only what are we now, October, November, December, January, February, March, so 5 months or so. So I'm figuring there's going to be some get in the right gear, you dick. So I'm figuring there's going to be some old versions available to buy next March, because everybody's going to want the new model. So maybe a pre-registered might get some money knocked off. Don't know, have to wait and see. But yeah, so yeah, definitely have another one, or just keep this one, because it's been a fantastic bike over the last 2 years. And that's why. Anyway, calm down. Yeah, it's been a fantastic bike over the last 2 years. It's been in twice for warranty work. Once for the kill switch, which needed replacing. It got water in it. And once for the petrol cap that wouldn't let me put any fuel in. So both times, well, the first time with the kill switch, the bike had to be recovered because I couldn't switch it on. And the second one, the fuel cap, there's actually a little workaround. I might do a video on it, where the problem was the fuel cap wouldn't release. So something on the bike that's supposed to tell the fuel cap, yes, he's stopped, you can now release the fuel cap. That bit on the fuel cap wasn't working, so I had to bypass that, and there's a little solenoid at the back of it that allows you to lift that latch and put fuel in it. So I had to take the bike apart so I could put fuel in it to get it to the dealers to get it replaced. There is one outstanding fault still on the bike, where, oh you clown, where you fill the bike up but the fuel gauge doesn't go to full anymore. Out of the 8 blocks that there are on the fuel gauge, as you can see now, I've just filled the bike up to full. It's only gone to 7/8 full, so it's given me a range of 210 miles or so, whereas really it should say 260. And the guys at the dealership are trying to get KTM on a goodwill gesture to replace the faulty part. Now the faulty part is the actual sender unit. There's a little float in the tank that runs up and down on a guide. So obviously the more fuel you put in, the little float goes up, and the sender unit then says, oh yeah, you got half a tank or a full tank, or no, you know, no fuel, whatever. And the rubber on the guides for the float perishes if you stick E10 fuel in it, which is a bit disappointing considering on the tank it says E5 or E10, but the mechanic down at the dealership said if you put E10 in, these rubbers can perish, which is what they have done. So it is a known fault at KTM, and they're trying to get it covered on a goodwill gesture because the bike's out of warranty now. Trying to get it covered on a goodwill gesture to get that part replaced. What else? Like I say, I'm scrubbing in some new tyres, so I've got, the bike's now done 10,700 miles, thereabouts, 10,680 something. And I've just changed the tyres, so the last set of tyres did 10,000 miles plus. Admittedly, a lot of it is motorway stuff, and they were squared off to death, but there was some spirited riding on those tyres as well, so for them to last 10,000 miles, I think is pretty good. Yeah, I can make that. So yeah, and I've put on the what tyres were the Continental Sport Attack 2s, I think. They're only the R-rated version, not the ZR rated version that comes on the bike from the factory. The R-rated version, they're only rated for speeds of up to 120, I think, whereas the ZRs are up to 160. But the number of times I go above 120 miles an hour on private roads, of course, is not very often. So I've just gone with the R-rated ones. They were a little bit cheaper, and I couldn't, to be fair, I couldn't find any ZR rated ones. And I did a stupid thing. I took the tyres, because the bike was going in for a service, so I had the tyres in the garage, and I thought, oh, I'll just get those guys to fit them. So I went along, wifey followed in the car, dropped the bike off and dropped the tyres off and said, can you throw those on as well while you're at it? And they said, yeah, no problem at all. So it's second annual service, which included an air filter, so you've got to take the tank off, an oil filter and oil, and obviously whatever safety checks that they do. I went back to pick the bike up, and they said, ah, there you are, here you go sir, there's your bike. We haven't washed it, couldn't be arsed, basically. And here's a bill for £459. £459 for an air filter, an oil filter and some oil, and changing 2 tyres for me. Now on the breakdown on the bill, there was an oil filter, air filter and some oil, and 4 hours labour at £80 an hour plus VAT. So you can see where it soon mounts up at £320 plus VAT for labour. I'm pretty sure they must have added 2 hours on to do the tyres. So yeah, I won't be doing that again. I will not be doing that again. That was a bit of a kick in the arse, that one. But yes, so apart from that, so it's been in for 2 bits of warranty work, both electrical, and it said it's obviously its first initial service and then 2 annual services after that. So I've probably spent upwards of £1,000 in servicing in 2 years, and they're just normal services, no valve clearance service in there or anything. And the good thing about KTM is you've got, I think it's 9,000 miles between services, but service is going to cost you, on average I would say, anywhere between £300 and £400 normally. So there's that to be aware of. Whilst I've had the bike, and just 10,000 miles, I think, just have a look on the info. Let's go on that trip. That trip should be long. Yeah, so in 4,500 miles, it's averaging 52.3 to the gallon. So that's pretty good for a litre plus bike. Like I say, I don't ride it around with my arse on fire. I do occasionally, go out on a Sunday and do that, but normally it's commuting and mostly motorway work. And the good thing about this bike is on the motorways it's so good at munching miles. Sit back, I've changed the screen, some of you might be aware, for a slightly taller screen, and you just sit back, heated seat on, heated grips, and put it in cruise control and just sit there and munch miles all day long. It is superb for motorway driving. And apart from that, there's not a lot really to tell you. The maintenance wise, cock all. I look after the chain quite well. I'm still on the original chain, 10,000 miles. I've adjusted it once and with the very smallest amount, so that's still fantastic, but I am a bit anal with the chain, I must admit. If I do a 200-mile trip and it's been damp or raining ever so slightly, should we pop in here? Let's pop in here. I will redo it. Hey up, missus. I will redo it, re-lube it when I get to where I'm going. So yeah, even after 200 miles I will redo it. Oh look, the boys are out playing with the little boats. So you can see that. The old timers come down here, the coffin dodgers I like to call them, come down here to play with the toy boats. They do quite well as well. Yeah, quite therapeutic. But anyway, back to the subject in hand. Yeah, so the chain, one adjustment, still good. The only thing on the downside on this bike compared to other bikes like the Honda and the Triumph that I've owned is fasteners and fixings tend to be a little bit ropey, a little bit corrosive. These holding the caliper on look a bit shit. Now I do know there's a theory that they put these in so that these corrode and not the alloy that they're fastened into or passing through. Make sure that doesn't corrode. So I get that. It's just that other manufacturers seem to be able to get fasteners that don't corrode, and neither does the caliper. So if the likes of Triumph can do it, why can't KTM? Spend some money, guys. And little bits like this, a little bit of alloy corrosion. I've had to replace the tape on there because your boots wear away at the subframe. Now from the factory it comes with tape on, but yeah, I wore through that, so I've had to put some more tape on. Other than that, apart from being filthy dirty, the bike looks great. Oh, it used to, it still does, but it gathers water there, so that rusted slightly, so I had to take this off and repaint that. What else have I had to do? New tyres, chain maintenance. Not got through a set of brake pads front or back yet. There's the odd stone chip on the front forks from the motorway work, but the radiator, apart from flies and muck, that's not had any stones thrown up at it, so that's good. Yeah, it's been fantastic. It's filthy dirty and covered in crap, but apart from that, no, it's been great. So I might do a video and show you how all this comes apart, and you can get to that plug underneath there for the fuel cap. And because yeah, trust me, if you've got no fuel, you might need to know that. It's pointless taking these out, that doesn't get you anywhere. Trust me, I've tried it. So yeah, it's been wonderful, and I'd do it again. It's yeah, it's been a good old bike. I'll definitely do it again. So thank you for watching. I waffled on a bit there, haven't I? But yeah, basically, if you're thinking of getting one of these, get one. You'll not go wrong. Get one, especially if it's been looked after, like this one has. You won't go far wrong at all. Anyway, happy riding, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now. Bye.